All right.
Let me get some cemetery in there. I always say that, don't I?
Well, you want to see where we're at?
All right. Hey, it's Griff and Sarah, and we're at the Poorhouse Cemetery.
In Argyle, New York.
Is that where we are?
That's where we are.
I'm Batman. So we're on our way to the poorhouse, not because of our floor or anything, but it's the Washington County Center, the Washington Center. It's the old folks' home, but behind it is a cemetery that people from the poorhouse, which had poor people, orphans, mentally ill, the feeble, the infirmed, various other things. Anyways, and then also the natives, which is not about Native Americans. It's about you were born in the poorhouse. You started there, probably ended there. Anyways, they'd rent you out to farmers. And there's a whole record on that, and that can be found down in Washington County, where people go to the libraries or something.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. You can see the same name over and over. Went with a family, returned.
Yeah.
Sometimes just within days, so you have to wonder whether they were
not working out.
And
there's a farm right here on the property that they would have to work, and sometimes there were little workshops that they had to make stuff. So
yeah, they had a workhouse.
Yeah.
So I think there's only one building left that was actually original, and that was the master's house.
Now some of these guys had balls and had a ball and chain. Maybe they had more than one, but had a ball and chain on them because they're considered dangerous, or they were just chained to walls. Some woman, some doctor, I can't remember her name, but she went down through all of these houses in New York State, and she was appalled. But
this was actually mandated by the government to have these workhouses, and Argyle, I believe, was 2 years before they actually did it. They actually got away without doing it for 2 years, but it was a federal mandated thing. So what do you think? Here we are in the parking lot.
Yeah, all right. Go up around this little bend over here. We'll see if somebody stops us.
Here we go.
Here we go. Right around the bend.
Going around the bend again.
Oh. Down here where those cars are parked, we're just going to park in there.
Okay, so that's probably the original house.
I think that was the guy who ran it.
I see the sign that says cemetery.
Yes.
I see a sign.
So I think we have to park over here.
I'll just park by this big old transit.
We have to walk in, and it's right behind that grove of trees.
Yeah, groovy.
All right, let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah, baby.
Alrighty, well here we are, headed up to the Washington County Poorhouse Cemetery. So it's poorhouse opened here in Argyle, Washington County in 1827. It had one person.
Yeah,
one
start
person.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I guess. So by 1856, so it had 112 people.
Oh, all right.
And let's see, 40 were children, 20 lunatics, and the rest were just poor.
Okay.
So here we go.
Walking our way in here. It's a little rocky. So watch your step.
Watch your step.
And I don't see it. Oh, I think it's on the other side of these trees.
There's a lot of people in here without markers. Anyway, here we are, Poorhouse Cemetery. The poorhouse was built in 1827, and from that time until 1891, it is believed that as many as 600 interments were made in the cemetery without markers. And from 1891 to 1930, graves 1 through 250 were marked with numbers only. 80 stakes erected from 1930 to 1964 were marked with names only. Let's see what we got.
Walk through here and see what we got. A lot of these have names on them. Find the ones that don't have names on them. Those are just numbers. There's a whole bunch of them that aren't even marked at all. These all seem to be just a marker. Oh, here's one. It's got a number 5 on it. Wonder who that is. There he is. Number 5. Seems the farther back you go, it's all numbers. Up in the front, where Sarah is, seems to be more names. Number 220. I bet there's a list somewhere that tells us who these guys are.
This one is 250. So this is 1 to 250 of the numbered graves. And they correspond with a number in the records. Probably could look it up and figure out who's in there. Poor people, lunatic, infirm, I don't know. These guys are all the ones that were named. All the named ones up until, I think, what was it, 1964. I think they closed about then. But at the time, there was a workhouse, a garden. You had to work on making things that could be sold, to be useful, to bring some money back, I guess, to pay for the other poor people and such. They would take kids out of here, rent them out, send them off to a farm. Didn't matter. Boys would go do farm work, girls would go do housework, and often bring them back at the end of the season, sometimes within days of when they left, so it makes me always wonder if they were naughty. All right, well, I found somebody different, and this is actually a carved out stone, a real headstone for Kevin Lucy, May 4th, 1823. Interesting though, it is replacing the number that was here. It's still in sequential number, so I wonder if it was a family that came back and replaced the stone, or what. You. All right, well, here's the last structure of the Washington County Poorhouse complex. I guess we would say this was the owner's house, the master's house, person in charge's house. Still here, big old brick house.
Glory to Ukraine.
Glory to the heroes.
Remember, like and subscribe.